Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the ring gear in the starter of a Briggs and Stratton starter. The starter that I'm doing is one that goes onto a Briggs and Stratton engine. Probably it'll work for several different models, but the ones that I have access to are a 19, a 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and a 25 horse Briggs and Stratton V-twin engine. So let's go ahead and get started. I've already done this one, replaced the gear in this. The other one that was on here was ate up pretty good, and it looks like I've already thrown it away into the trash. So I went ahead and done this and replaced it. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Alright, on this one I replaced this gear, and the hardest thing about doing this, in all honesty, is getting this C-clip off that's here. There's a gnat flying around because of the light. The C-clip is very difficult to get off and get back on. Here's the parts that you're going to need. You're going to need a hammer, a 3/8 socket, a pair of small flathead screwdrivers, needle nose pliers. You might want to use an 8mm or a 5/16 if you need to service the bottom end of the starter. So if you need to replace this bottom piece because your battery post terminals broke off, you'll need that, and then you can slide that off and replace that part. I'm just going to suggest to use the WD-40 silicone lubricant since we're going to be putting these on plastic. No, this is not a sponsor, but you know, here it is. Now on this starter, this is the one that I replaced the bottom portion because I broke off the battery post. But anyway, I did that, and I'll make another video on how to replace this bottom portion. But anyway, I need to replace this ring gear because if you look, she's ate up pretty good. All the teeth on her are off, but look at that. You notice how it doesn't want to come down as easy as it should. That's what the lubricant is for, and hopefully that will fix that. And I'll clean this up a little bit. Maybe that there's some dirt in there and everything. So yeah, let's go ahead and try to get this off. So we need to try to get this clip off. Okay, you can push down on this and you can get a little bit of play. There's not really that much play going on this one. It seems to be pretty tight. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to take these tiny screwdrivers, okay, and we're going to basically try to catch one end of this C-clip and try to start walking it up. And the reason why you need two is when you start trying to walk this C-clip up, it tends to want to, of course, go back down, and you're going to have to leave it wedged in there to basically get it off. Okay, so let's see if we can get this C-clip off, okay? So now don't get frustrated. You see how that just now went down? Now don't get frustrated because I did a few times. Okay, so we're going to try to pry this up. Alright, now notice that there's a lot of rust on this one. So, because you know your mowers, mine stay in a shed, but still they get moisture on them, and you have rust when you have metal and water. Alright, so I've got this side up a little bit. So what I want to do, now always be prepared because you never know what can happen. This thing can fly off. So you might want to wear safety glasses. Now, I'm not used to saying that all the time because I wear glasses and my lenses are probably carbon, so that's not a sponsorship to anybody either. But now I'm going to try to take this screwdriver, this other one, and pry it on the other side. Okay, now just be patient and work slow. You don't want to go in such a hurry that you mess things up, kind of like, you know, I just did there. See how it just went right back down? Now this is when you get frustrated, so just try. I'm being honest, just try to not get frustrated. I'm frustrated already. Alright, notice I got that back up there, okay? See how it's up, alright? So I'm just going to keep trying to get that up. Now it looks like I've got it up there, okay? So I'm going to try to just leave that there and wedge the screwdriver on it. Okay, it's wedged. Alright, might not be the best, but I've turned it sideways to try to keep it wedged up for me. Okay, now I'm going to try to slide this other one in here. Okay, and notice I'm meeting a lot of resistance there. It probably is because this C-clip is buried into the bottom. So I'm just going to try to work my way around and loosen it. Okay. Now notice I've got the C-clip bent up. I don't know if you can see that. It's bent upward. So, almost. Try not to get frustrated. This is so easy to get aggravated with. So you might want to push down. Now notice I'm getting it. Okay. I'm just working my way around. Now look, I've almost got success. It's up. Now keep your finger. Now I'm keeping my finger on it because I don't want it to fly and hit my laptop screen. Okay. And I'm just going to push a little bit more. Push a little bit more. Push a little bit more and just walk around. Look at that. Okay, notice it's ready to come off. I'm just afraid it's going to go flying. Oh! Didn't fly. But it did pop my finger. Boom. Alright, so there's that. Okay, now, just take that off. Now, we want to keep these in order. Now, if you think you bent your ring a little bit, this is where you want to take your needle nose. I don't really think it's going to make too much of a difference. But you can take your needle nose pliers or a pair of vice grips or something, and you can try to reshape this guy or tighten him up a little bit. If you don't want to do that, then you can do this. You can basically take your ring again, set it right there, and just tap it with a hammer. And that might have been enough to get it. I mean, because you don't want it to make it so hard it's almost impossible to go back on. So that might be enough. Seriously, you know. All right, so we're going to set that down. Keep it in order. Maybe I can show it in view of the camera. I'm setting down. All right, so there's my C-clip. Yeah, you can see that in the camera. All right, back to the starter. And now I'm going to take this cap off. Okay. Now, like I said, there's rust involved on this. Now, notice it came up. Okay. All right, so there's that. You can clean your parts later if you want to. So there's that. Now, the next thing I want to take off is this spring. Okay. Now, notice the orientation of this washer. This washer is concaved up. So let's take it off and set it down over here. Like I said, you can clean these parts later. Now, to get your ring gear off, you can just spin it with your finger. And there's that. Now, if you are having trouble getting your starter off, you won't have any problems with the bolt in the front. The one that you're going to have problems with is the bolt in the back. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. A 1/2 inch or a 3/8 drive, ratchet, extension, and all that is not going to work. You're going to have to use a 1/4 inch. And then you're going to need a star. At least that's what I had to have on mine. All my starters had stars. Now, you might have a bolt that might be a 10 millimeter. But I doubt it. But mine were all stars. Now, I shouldn't say I doubt it on the 10 millimeter because all of the star bolts did have a hex head on them, so you probably can fit a 10 millimeter on all those. But you just don't have enough room for the wrench. Okay, so just make sure that you remember that. Now, all we got to do is do the reverse order. We need to replace our starter ring gear, so we're going to set that down. And but make sure that you notice this. This one doesn't really have any labeling left, but the ones that we're going to put on here will tell you if this is going to be starter side up, okay, like face up or something. So if you're in a bind, I guess if you had to, you could probably turn this ring upside down and put it back on, but I wouldn't recommend that. So, but if you're desperate, try that. Alright, so anyway, let's go ahead and get our new ring gear. Alright, so here's our new ring gear. Now you can order these on Amazon or what's the other one? eBay, or just do a general search and you can find that. Now I ordered mine, and I got mine off of Amazon. So I got it from I guess it was the Romp Shop, ROP shop, and no, that's not a sponsorship, but just letting you know that's where I got mine. Now before I put this one on, I'm going to clean this up. Now what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take my paper towels. I got 2 paper towels from the house, and like I said, they're not anything special. They're just the local grocery store My friend picked them up for me, and because she noticed I was out of them. But anyway, we need to clean this up. So I guess first thing we're going to do is we're just going to wipe off the majority of the dust and the rust and everything. So it looks like it's in pretty good shape, other than it's dirty. Of course, it's on a mower. It's going to be dirty. Now, if you bring this into your house like I'm doing, your wife or your lady friend or girlfriend would probably like it, and yourself too, and maybe even your kids would probably like it if you keep it in a bag and everything. So, but anyway, all right. Looks like this is pretty clean. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my silicone spray and I'm just gonna spray it on this gear, on this plastic piece. Now you don't want to spray real hard. You just want to spray really lightly because you're inside your house, and this stuff comes out really nice. So, and why I like this is it's gentle on plastics and it's not going to dissolve the plastic and stuff. So it's pretty safe because it's silicone. Alright, there's that. Okay, now we can wipe it off and everything. So, and I knocked that off. Now this is not a big deal. If you want to clean this up, you can, but I've never really bothered to clean this. But if you notice, it's slotted, and this shaft is slotted, so all we got to do is just put it back on there. It's not a big deal if it comes off, so but if it does come off, don't panic. I had a little bug there I had to kill. Oh, I got a Snapchat. Oh, got another one. Let's see what we got here. I got some friends that's messaging me. Sorry, I'm checking it out. Okay, cool. Oh, thank you. Good. All right. Sorry, guys. All right. Yes, even us old people use Snapchat. Okay, so now we're going to just basically do this to our parts and do the reverse order. So I'm going to put this on where it says this side up. So there is that. Look how nice that goes on. And we'll put some of that on there. So, yay! I know you're thinking, yeah, great. So far. All right, so there's that. And then the next part that we're going to put on, we're going to put this washer back on. You're going to clean it off if you want to. I'm cleaning it off. Okay, so there's that. Okay, all right. Now, there's that. We're going to put our spring on. And it's always good to make sure that your spring is not worn out. Looks like this one will spring up. So we're probably okay with our spring. But I'm just going to wipe it off anyway. Probably just got a little bit of oil or dust or something on it. So, yeah. So there's that. Put that on. Now we're going to put this guy on. Yeah. Yep. Now this is where the 3/8 socket is going to come in handy. So we're going to set this little C-clip back on there. And if you notice, okay, our C-clip is setting up kind of high. I don't know if it's going to focus on that or not, but it's setting up high. And that's really the most aggravating thing about these starters is getting that C-clip on. Now, one of the best ways to put this on is if you can find a socket to fit this, that's great. I believe it's a 3/8 socket. Now, I've got a Stanley socket here, and no, that's not a sponsorship. I've got a 3/8 socket here, and the 3/8 socket is usually the best one to fit down on this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to set that socket on that C-clip. Okay, now when we set it on there, we're going to try to make sure it's even and level as possible. Okay, now after we get it on there even and as level as possible, now this might not work the first time, so don't get frustrated. Then we're going to take our trusty hammer and we're going to tap it on. Okay, I gave it a pretty good tap because I want to make sure it went on. And if you look, it's on, but it's not on all the way. Probably because I didn't strike it pretty equally. So let me readjust the camera so you can get a better view and I can get a better striking angle. Okay, yeah, I didn't get it. I missed it. Alright, so once again, here's my socket. Got it on there. Hopefully it'll go on straight now. I'm going to give it a tap. Now it's going on. It's still high on this side. Okay, so here we go. We'll strike it again. Okay, so here we go. Alright, now if you look, that 3/8 socket knocked that C-clip right down on there. And it looks like it's pretty retained. It does seem like it's not down all the way there. So this is probably where you want to take your pliers. And you can take your pliers and you can squeeze on that C-clip. So I'm having to use a lot of force to try to push that down. Okay. I really am. I'm pushing this down, and as I push that down, I'm trying to take the needle nose and squeeze that clip on. I mean, I'm not having the greatest luck with it, but the 3/8 does get it on there pretty easy. Alright, that looks like that's actually in there good now. Okay, see that? That looks really good. Yeah, I don't see any issues with seating or anything like that. That actually looks pretty good. Because see, you want that C-clip to seat down in there. Okay, you don't want it to be out of its seat. So, but you see how nice and quick that goes up and down now? Yeah, it does. That's really nice. See, look at that. Yeah, that silicone stuff does really good. Yeah, see, it's worth it. It's worth the $4 or $5 it is a can. Look at that. Nice. Brand new starter. Not really. It's not rebuilt. It's just we replaced that gear. All right, so this one's done. You get frustrated with those C-clips, I understand. They're just aggravating as crap. And when you buy those ring gears, make sure you buy them 5 at a time, because that's the best price that I could find, buy them in 5s. If you buy them in 1s and 2s and 3s, you seem to pay a little bit more. So buy a pack of 5 and you've got some extras. Just set them on the shelf. Alright guys, I hope this was helpful and y'all have a good one.